So I listened to Made in Paris today, and trying to turn my fan off, I accidentally turned it up. It's definitely a very chill, calm project. I know it was very, very, very anticipated by his fan base, which I mean I kind of am a part of. I'm not a huge Pierre Bourne rapping fan. I'm a very big his production fan. I love when he produces, but his actual rapping has left more to be desired, in my opinion. The last album I ever really listened to Pierre, that was like from start to finish, I genuinely don't remember the name of it. I would have to look. It was like, I know it was like themed around a movie theater. I'm looking it up right now. Oh my god, where is it at? Where is it at? Good Movie. The last full project I listened to by Pierre Bourne was Good Movie. And he's dropped like a couple like EPs since then. I know he dropped a bunch of his Grails. I listened to a few of those and I liked them pretty good. He's dropped collab projects, which is cool. I'm not going to listen to those, but I mean, they're interesting. But I think this is his first solo album since Good Movie, and this album is supposed to have been coming out for a while. Something I've always thought about Pierre Bourne is that he would benefit so much from having other people on his records. Now, I completely understand the urge and the need and the want to be able to show that you can do it by yourself and not need features, and to have hits without features. That way you can say you didn't rely on them. I completely respect that, and I completely understand that. But I feel like one of his weaknesses is not only making his songs too long, but not being enough of a presence on his own song to carry it for that runtime. Like, a 3.5 minute song that is just Pierre Bourne that doesn't really change up anything. Like, there's no real different, like, there is different flows, but, like, there's nothing really different happening. It's kind of just 3.5 minutes of the same thing. It gets annoying, and it would be nice to hear another voice. That's why one of the better songs on the album is Young Nudie. Or, like, JBH, the song with Young Nudie, is, like, noticeably, I don't know, I find it more enjoyable, and one of those reasons because it has another voice besides Pierre Bourne. It doesn't have to be famous people, it doesn't have to be anyone crazy. I'm not asking for a Travis Scott feature, I'm not asking for a Future feature, I'm asking just for another voice to kind of break up this Pierre Bourne monotony. You know what I mean? Not monotony. I didn't mean to play that. That was one of my favorite songs of L'Amour. I don't really know how to say some of these. I might say them wrong. I like that all the track names are named after, like, French names. I think that's cool. I think the album starts off pretty good, too. Facade, Le Vautre, Bon Appetit. That's a good little 3 intro run. But the only real 2 songs I genuinely, like, disliked was Blue and Temps de Chasse. I think I'm saying that right. I genuinely didn't like those. And my TV literally just will not turn down. I'm so sorry if that was audible. I don't think it was. I'm about to have to go look now. So, Pierre Bourne is kind of like more of a difficult rapper to talk about for me. And it is problems that I have with this album. I have with literally every single one of his projects. I think they are the definition of calm. Like, none of them are necessarily exciting. They're all just kind of chill. And that, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it also kind of is. Just a little bit like, why? I don't know. It kind of sounds, his albums progressively, as I'm listening to them, get more boring. Because they don't sound the same, but I also know what I'm gonna get probably. Like, you kind of know a Pierre Bourne beat whenever you hear it. He kind of has this signature style, so whenever you're listening to 18, 19 Pierre Bourne songs in a row, you kind of have a feeling somewhat of what the beat is going to sound like. Not like it's just noticeably the same beat, but you kind of know similarities. You're going to notice them a little bit. His, like, delivery, too, is never really, like, it's never been, like, hard or anything like that. Like, he has a very soft delivery. Like, he kind of floats on the song, but I'm not saying that in a good way. He kind of just kind of goes through it, kind of like the way Travis Scott does. Like that. Okay, that might be a crappy comparison if you don't understand what I'm saying. Travis Scott kind of just goes through the song, like he doesn't really, at least most of the time. On some of his songs, he kind of just goes through them. He's kind of just, I don't want to say talking over them because that sounds way meaner or like way more of a diss toward the song that I'm trying to say. But if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. But I don't even think this project is bad. I know I haven't really said anything positive. The production is good, even though I kind of started knowing what it was going to sound like a little bit, or like at least somewhat noises I was going to hear that were similar between each other. The beats are all good, and I feel like with an album like this, it would be more disappointing if the beats were trash because you're literally a producer. You're famous for being a producer, not necessarily being a rapper. So these beats need to be good. You know what I mean? But do I think this album is great by any means? No. I don't think it is. I don't really, I mean, I'm only saying this because I could see the hype for it. I was never necessarily a part of it. I'm always going to be excited for anyone's new release, especially whenever it's as good as people say it's going to say. People, like, talk about it the way they talked about Made in Paris. I kind of couldn't help but be like, okay, I'm probably going to listen to this. I mean, a lot of people think this is going to be really good. A lot of people are liking it. I'm going to listen to it. But because of that kind of expectation, I was let down a little bit. But like I said, his delivery and stuff, it just, especially 18 songs in a row and his voice and the way he mixes his voice with his beats, it just kind of gets boring. And like I said, this is a problem that I've had with every single Pierre Bourne project that I've ever listened to. I haven't listened to The Life of Pierre 4, sadly. I know that's like a classic mixtape that like everyone's supposed to listen to. Or at least his fans, that's what they say. But I've never listened to it, sadly. I will at some point. Like, I will get to it. And this album doesn't change me from wanting to do that. But that does make me kind of wonder, where's The Life of Pierre 1 and 2? And you know what I'm saying? Because, like, am I blind or I'm only seeing The Life of Pierre 4? Maybe there's a reason for that, but never mind. I have listened to The Life of Pierre 5, and like I said, a lot of the problems... There's a video about like, that album on this channel somewhere. You could probably find it. But, like I said, kind of have the same problem with that album. It's too long. It's an hour long. I don't think... the only reason I know this is because I'm looking right now. This album's an hour long, too. 17 songs. I don't think a Pierre Bourne project should be an hour long by any means, even if it had a couple more features. Pierre Bourne should not have an hour long project. I just don't think he should. I genuinely believe he's just not interesting enough, really. Like, I don't think he has enough to his game, has enough to what he's able to say, has enough, like, song-making talent, beat-making talent for sure. Like, if this was 18 instrumental, sure, let it rip, but like you put your voice and your rapping over it, I just don't think it is enough to be worth an hour, or like be more than like 12, 13 songs. If this was like 12, 13 songs, it probably would have been a lot better, honestly. But I'm gonna try and say some positive things before I give my ranking. I really liked, like I said, that beginning like intro 3-track run was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I like the Young Nudie verse on JBH. What's another one? In Ete, that's a good song. Rapunzel is a pretty good one. Violet. I don't know if that's Violette or Violet. I don't know how French people say it. But those two are probably my favorite songs on the project. These are pretty good. Like, whenever, like, you kind of take some of these songs out of the context of listening to a 17 song long Pierre Bourne project, they kind of get better. Like, Rapunzel's a little bit better if you listen to it by itself, because I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I just kind of get bored of Pierre Bourne a little bit, and he just doesn't interest me enough to be able to listen to a song, like a project that long without being bored. But my rating, I want to give it like a 6 out of 10. I know I feel like I said a lot of negative, but I do genuinely like it. Like, a lot of what I said, I feel like isn't crazy negatives. Like, it's not gonna detract too many points. It's not gonna make me not enjoy the music, but it's just kind of problems that I've noticed with Pierre Bourne. That this album, at least for me, it wasn't necessarily disappointing. I wasn't necessarily expecting anything good or like anything fantastic. I kind of expected it to be good at least, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like his fans, if I was a big Pierre Bourne fan, seeing the way some of them hyped it up, I would be a little bit disappointed because I do remember like when he said it was dropping in March, and as y'all can tell, it's at the time of recording this, it's July, but when he dropped it, it was June. And I mean, if I was a fan of his, I would definitely be disappointed that I waited this long and this album kind of is just more of the same Pierre. You know what I mean? But anyway, 6 out of 10. If you watched till the end, I greatly appreciate it. If you want more, join the Patreon, you know. You can subscribe, hit the like button, please. I just dropped a song. Go listen to it. I'm probably going to put a link to it in the what's it called, in the comment section. And if you want, you can for sure 110% listen to the Spotify and Apple Music links in the description too. I've got those there. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I love y'all. More album reviews soon. That'll probably be all I've got for a while because I've kind of got behind on albums. There's a lot I want to talk about music-wise, but I'll catch you guys on the next video. I love y'all.